Back in this thing, man. 4 days off when you're in your mid-40s feels like 2.5 weeks. With that said, though, you gotta keep pushing. I saw an old partner of mine a couple days ago, old school cat, and he said, "Hey, young blood, man, I ain't seen you on the news lately. Where you been?" I said, "Hell, old time, I ain't seen you on any platform lately. Where you been?" Now, he meant well. But there are some that like to say that little slick comment because he meant well. They like to act as if they haven't seen you on the news, even though many times they've totally missed some stories. That means that you ain't doing no work. You know what's funny? A few years ago, I had a heavy caseload of high-profile cases. So it was heavy rotation. Ariston Waiters, Kendrick Johnson, Baby Boo Boo. Had others, but those three were right, and they were in heavy rotation. So people got used to a certain kind of frequency. But now that I've decided, and let me rephrase, recently, because I've always done this, not now that I've decided, you know, I've taken on cases of Jarvis Likes that received a Nobel. What's up, Mrs. Likes, down in Columbus. Cases such as Sylvester Stewart and Crawfordville. These are cases that ain't sexy to the mainstream media, but I still do them. Not to mention the Operation Break Breads, the legal clinics. Listen, but it's funny though, because then there are those that complain that you're on the news too much. So hey, listen, leadership is tough. You just better be able to take it, especially if you can dish it, and we're the right person for that job. South Fulton. We dropped the ball yet again. About 2 weeks ago, we had a global superstar athlete right here off Roosevelt Highway in District 3. In one of these groups, I believe it's the South Fulton County Problems and Solutions on Facebook, somebody posed the question, why weren't the residents informed that Venus Williams, superstar, was in our city? District 3 representative responded that this was a private event. It was for the South Fulton Tennis Center and those that are involved in the youth camp, and that's how Venus Williams wanted it. Now, you know, I'm not privileged to that communication. I understand that the District 3 representative did a lot of work to get Venus Williams here. But what about you, Mr. Mayor? What about understanding that the streets of Roosevelt could have been lined with community just welcoming this global superstar athlete here to our city, our new city? How about the fact that this was on the heels of the of the Wimbledon defeat by the awesome Atlanta Metro 15-year-old little sister whose name, forgive me, escapes me right now. Venus comes from Wimbledon to South Fulton and don't nobody know about it? Shit, hell, Mr. Mayor, if you didn't scurry to get into that photo op with the proclamation that was presented, shit, you would have missed out yourself. You got the city manager present, Councilwoman Guns from District 2 present, the awesome brother that runs that tennis center present. Hell, during the proclamation, the kids were roped off to the right and to the left. I'm gonna send a link to the video. Matter of fact, I saw some kids running up trying to get into the picture, and they were shooed away, only to be brought back in with somebody that's got some sense. How do you not have the city on alert and security and crowd control just to welcome this damn sister? Either it's inexperience or it's selfishness. And I'll choose the latter because, Mr. Mayor, your experience should trump any council person's inexperience. It's supposed to be the face of the city. The voice of the city. There's a way to uplift the council representative in their work with you being the accurate, welcoming committee and face for the city. The little boys and girls in the surrounding community would have benefited so much, the ripple effect, from just being able to wave to Venus. There are those that say, hey man, stop criticizing the mayor. We got to work with what we got. I beg to differ. We're 2 years new, homie. I had 2 years to gauge the temperature, to gauge the level of effectiveness of this current mayor. I choose to look to the future. I am all for the city of South Fulton, but I am not for certain people that are in place. Plain and simple. And I will use whatever platform that I've worked for in order to make that change happen.